The Las Vegas Raiders made a bold move in the draft, selecting quarterback Darian Porter from Iowa State. And let me tell you, watching his tape, this kid stands out like a diamond in the rough. He's one of the most exciting prospects I've seen in this cycle, with so much untapped potential that it's hard to believe we've only scratched the surface. The crazy part? Porter hasn't even played 700 snaps in college football yet. The guy is still a mystery, and that's what makes his future so exciting. In fact, this might be one of the biggest steals the Raiders have pulled off in years. Sure, Porter had 3 interceptions last season, but his tape tells a completely different story. Standing at 6 feet 4 inches and over 200 pounds, he's a physical specimen with an athleticism that's off the charts. A 4.3-second 40-yard dash for a guy of his size? That's just insane. The Raiders have been drafting athletes who are built differently, and Porter fits perfectly into that mold. But it's not just his physical traits that make him special. His on-field skills are just as impressive. We haven't seen much of what defensive minds like Pete Carroll and Patrick Graham can do with him, but we know they have an eye for talent. Carroll, after all, helped shape Richard Sherman into one of the greatest cornerbacks in the NFL. And Graham, he's had great success coaching cornerbacks like Jack Jones and Joran Bennett. Now let's dive into Porter's tape. The first thing that jumps out is his fluidity. If there's one thing a cornerback absolutely has to have, it's the ability to move smoothly. If Porter can't change direction or adjust his hips when a receiver makes a move, he'll be lost on the field. But that's not the case here. Porter has the ability to stay with any wide receiver step for step. And considering how much bigger he is than most receivers, it's nothing short of impressive. If you want to see something truly mind-blowing, just take a look at this play against Texas Tech. The receiver takes off on a straight-up go route, and Porter is right there with him, running stride for stride. But what happens next is where things get really impressive. Porter doesn't just follow the receiver. He turns around, locks onto the ball, and intercepts it with ease. What stands out here is how he turns to face the wide receiver, not just the inside like most cornerbacks would. This little detail makes all the difference. By turning towards the receiver, Porter ensures he's always in the right position to jump for the ball, preventing the receiver from making any back shoulder catches or sneaky moves. And let me tell you, this is just one example of his exceptional technique. He does it over and over again, showing a mastery of the small but vital details. One play that stands out to me even more was one where Porter wasn't even targeted. Yeah, you heard that right. A play where the ball didn't even come his way, but it was still one of the most impressive moments I saw on tape. Watch closely because this moment is incredible. Porter is covering a receiver against Utah, and the receiver runs an inside route. But Porter, at 6 feet 4 inches, opens his hips to the outside, almost daring the receiver to make a move in that direction. What happens next is pure magic. As the receiver cuts back inside, Porter flips his hips effortlessly and stays glued to him, never losing a step. The movement here is unreal. Most players that size wouldn't be able to make that turn so smoothly, but Porter does it like it's second nature. And here's the thing. Speed doesn't always win in the NFL. You don't have to be the fastest cornerback out there, especially when you have the kind of fluidity that Porter shows. Sure, some corners may run slower 40-yard dashes, but they still have successful careers. The key is in the fluidity of the movement, and that's what makes Porter so special. Now, let's talk about his ability in zone coverage. This is where Porter really stands out. At 6 feet 4 inches, he's built for zone schemes, and you can see it in his tape. The Raiders seem to be heading in the direction of playing a lot of zone coverage, and Porter fits perfectly into that plan. I remember watching a play against West Virginia where Porter, as an off-ball zone corner, completely shuts down a wide receiver's quick route to the outside. The receiver might have had some separation, but Porter quickly closes that gap. Even though he wasn't targeted on that play, you could still see his incredible ability to lock down that space and make sure the receiver didn't get away. It's moments like this that show just how much potential Porter has. He's not just a cornerback, he's a difference maker. When you watch Porter play off coverage, it's easy to see just how fluid his movement is. He turns, shifts, and runs stride for stride with the wide receiver like it's second nature. And here's the kicker. Porter is 6 feet 4 inches. Now, most of the NFL's most fluid cornerbacks are usually in the 5 feet 8 inches to 5 feet 11 inches range. So for a guy of Porter's size to move like that is Absolutely mind-blowing. His physical traits are undeniable, but it's his play recognition that really takes him to the next level. And here's the thing. Porter isn't going to be asked to play 15 different schemes. He's not going to be jumping between off-ball zone, man coverage, press, and cover two. The Raiders are simplifying things for him, focusing on just a few specific roles. If he can excel in those, he's going to thrive. And I have no doubt that Pete Carroll knows exactly what he's getting with Porter. A smart, quick corner who understands the game. Take this play against Iowa, for example. Porter ends up intercepting the pass, but there's so much more happening here than just the pick. The Iowa offensive lineman jump set, which is a trick used on play action passes. Initially, Porter thinks it's a run, so he closes in on the wide receiver. But as soon as he sees the quarterback rolling out, he shifts his hips and starts to drop back into coverage. Here's the key. The play was actually designed for a tight end leak on Porter's side. But before the tight end even has a chance to make the catch, Porter quickly spots it and gets underneath the route. He closes the gap, makes up ground in an instant, and secures the interception. It's not just about the pick. It's about how he read the play, how he moved, and how he reacted in real time. Now, think about his size again. When Porter initially thought it was a run, he came up and hit the wide receiver. That small move completely rerouted the receiver's path. That's the kind of impact Porter brings to the table. Imagine him going up against someone like Travis Kelce, lining up over him, pressing him, and staying right with him. Or against someone like Xavier Worthy, running vertical routes. Porter has the agility and length to stay step for step with both. Porter can absolutely be a weapon for the Raiders, and here's why. Pete Carroll understands the importance of tackling. He's not interested in cornerbacks who shy away from contact, and that's why guys like Jack Jones don't last in the system. Carroll wants players who can handle physicality, and Porter's got that in spades. When it comes to tackling, Porter definitely delivers. There are so many great plays on tape, and you can really see how his play recognition and fluid movement come together. Plus, he's not afraid to step up and make a tackle. Take this play against UCF, for example. The wide receiver goes into jet motion, and the ball is snapped for a shovel pass. Porter quickly recognizes that the receiver's blocking down, which tells him he needs to step up and fill the gap. This is a key moment. When your guy blocks down, it usually means you're the one who has to make the play. Porter doesn't hesitate. He steps up and tackles the receiver one-on-one, stopping him for a loss of a couple of yards. It's a crucial play where he avoids a potential touchdown, showing how solid he is in the open field. What makes Porter even more impressive is his willingness to blitz and get physical, something you don't always expect from cornerbacks. While it's rare to see corners setting the edge, Porter does it well. In defensive systems like cover 3 zone, corners often have to play off the line of scrimmage. If a receiver in off coverage blocks down, the corner has to step up and fit the run. Porter is more than capable of doing that. He's already shown he can take on offensive tackles and reset the line of scrimmage, even if it's not always perfect. Take this play against Iowa, for example. Porter steps up, challenges the offensive lineman, and uses enough force to make the running back cut back inside. It's a clear demonstration of his ability to play both physical and smart football. Porter isn't just a corner who plays great coverage. He does everything a cornerback needs to do. His play recognition, fluidity, and tackling ability make him a complete player. I really think the Raiders have landed a fantastic football player in Darian Porter. I watched multiple games in their entirety against teams like Iowa State, Iowa, Utah, UCF, and West Virginia, and Porter consistently impressed me. The Raiders have a gem in this guy. It'll be exciting to see how he develops and what he becomes in the NFL. Thanks for watching this quick film breakdown. I know it's a bit shorter than usual, but with everything going on in my life right now, I'm trying to keep it brief. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time with more analysis.